Was Anthony Richardson's rookie year a lost year for him and the Indianapolis Colts? Let's talk about that right now on the Common Colt Podcast, which is a Colts podcast with authentic takes and no clickbait. And there is no denying to me that Anthony Richardson was a very explosive player when he was on the field for the Indianapolis Colts. Unfortunately, for Colts fans, for the team, for everybody involved, his season kind of ended in some disappointment. He only finished one full game, and his season ended all the way back in October. And as I was scrolling through the interwebs, which can be a dangerous place, I seen some fans talking about how C.J. Stroud was having such a dynamic rookie year. He looked like the best quarterback in the draft. Even Will Levis had shown some flashes on the Titans team, which, let's be honest, we're glad we're not the Titans. But Will Levis showed some flashes on a team that was trending down. And then you have Anthony Richardson, who we didn't get to see much. Obviously, there's Bryce Young, who's the other rookie quarterback that he's going to be compared to for the rest of his life. And Bryce Young looked miserable, looked awful, looked terrible. And I blame a lot of that maybe on the situation they put him in the dumpster fire organization that is the Carolina Panthers. Frank Reich looked like he needed to take a year off. And maybe he rushed into a coaching spot there. But back to Anthony Richardson and some things I was reading online about how some Colts fans feel like maybe this was a lost season for him. And to me, obviously you look around the league and you see the C.J. Strouds lighting it up, and even the Will Levis is playing and having highlights every week. It can kind of get you down, and I get that. But I think you have to look at Anthony Richardson's limited play time, and you have to kind of analyze that for a second, which I have. And to me, first and foremost, the biggest takeaway is he looked like he belonged. Anthony Richardson looked like he belonged his rookie year. And I know that sounds kind of goofy, but I think that was a legit question mark, especially when the Colts put him in and plugged him in as the week one starter. There were some people who were saying he should have sat the whole entire year. He came in, he looked to pass the ball. Sure, they had design runs, and those were often the plays where he got hurt, but he looked to pass the ball, and he had great pocket presence. He just didn't look like a fish out of water. And with the limited college experience he had, with the youthfulness he had, and with the rawness we thought he had, he wasn't the raw prospect that we thought he was. He looked like an NFL quarterback, which I think is such a big plus, especially when you consider the fact that he had an injury and the season was ended. Like, if this guy was playing terrible and then he got hurt, his confidence could have been shot. But I don't think that's the case. He's a very explosive player. I think he's everything that we thought we were hoping him to be his rookie year until the injuries happened. Now, the injuries did happen, and he's going to have to learn from this, and he's going to have to find a way to slide. And this is a dead horse that's going to continue to get beat until he actually does it. But he's going to have to learn how to slide, make a point to get out of bounds, know when to fight for the extra yard. Hey, is it fourth down in the fourth quarter? Yeah, you could probably fight for that extra yard. Is it 1st and 10 and you're up by 10 in the second quarter? Maybe go down. Stuff like that I think he's just going to learn over time, and he's going to learn he's not the biggest and baddest guy in the field. But I don't think you can quite say that his rookie year was a lost year, because outside of us learning that, okay, this guy can play, he's learning so much now from getting a little bit of play time and playing decently well, and now learning, okay, how should I go into a game? How should I prepare? What kind of plays is Gardner Minshew making? What kind of good stuff is Minshew doing? And what kind of mistakes is he doing? And he's getting to witness this all on the field. And he's watching other rookie quarterbacks perform as well. Again, this was his first year being a professional quarterback. So to kind of soak that all in, I think we got the best of both worlds of him playing and then while also sitting. Now, it's unfortunate that he does have an injury, but I do think that based on what I'm reading about his recovery from the surgery and just this type of surgery it is, I think there's a good shot he will get back to 100%. And I love and respect that the Colts shut him down last year. But I do think that some Colts fans saying it was a lost season, it's kind of just, it's not an educated, it's more of an emotional reaction to the injuries. And I think it's because a lot of times when Colts fans sit back and they watch the playoffs this year and then they see the successes of some young quarterbacks, like even a Brock Purdy or C.J. Stroud, you start to wonder, like, okay, how come our guy's not out there? And I get that to an extent, but we have to reel it back and know, hey, we were one game out of the playoffs, and hey, if Anthony Richardson was in that game, who knows what happens? So that's kind of my thoughts on it, guys. I'd be curious on what your thoughts are. Go ahead and comment below if you're interested. And we got a lot of off-season content we're about to come up with. We took about a week or so off, week or two off to kind of recharge and get fired up for this off-season. So stay tuned, Colts fans. We really appreciate you being a part of our channel. We're on the path to 2,000 subscribers. So if you can hit that subscribe button, it'd mean a lot. Thanks again for watching the Common Colt Podcast.